Coming to you the day before the Pisces new moon. It is the 26th of February today. We have our new moon tomorrow. This new moon brings with it also really lovely endings and beginnings of phases. It marks the beginning of heading into our eclipse season, which of course is a very potent time if you're working with energetic channels. If you're not, and you should be, it's a hectic time too, right? Because you're not in alignment with that necessarily. So why I'm mentioning that is because whether you believe in astrology or energy or not, it is happening around you and you are being affected. Okay, that just is the law, a law of life. What's happening around you is affecting you, whether you are aware of it or not. It also brings with it this Pisces new moon. We are heading into the astrological new year, which starts at the end of March when we head into Aries, our first sign of the zodiac, the babies. The beautiful creative Aries. And I am inviting you to just go gently. Go gently. I've been inviting you to do that a lot in a lot of my clips. And I'm going to give you actually till the end of April. So 27th, I think, is our last eclipse. But right up until the end of April. So where we're now, end of February, so March and April, a full 2 months for you to consider and envision and embody and visualize and feel and be and in a warm cocoon of healing. Moving into a new phase is very much easier to do when we are ready for that phase, when we have given ourselves the opportunity to rest, to prepare. I am always amazed when people go away for holidays and then they drive home the morning before the day they have to go back to work. It is something that I could never do that way. I need at least a day or two back at home now just to get back into that cycle. And there's nothing wrong with it, of course. It is just an interesting thing that we do in a situation where we've gone off on this relaxing, wonderful time because our year has been so busy and so pushed and so exhausting. And then we almost rush into the new year, putting ourselves right on that foot of rushing and being exhausted and just getting there and going. And really, with everything around you, you might go, I just don't have time for this. I don't have time to put aside. I don't have time to any of this. But why not? Really give yourself the opportunity to try it. If this is very new for you, if you're not somebody who knows how to do this, then reach out. It's nothing unusual. It's not just because you can't see a feeling, although except if you're having a tantrum or a cry or a, but you can't see it like you can working out a maths sum. It doesn't mean it's not there. It is a very, very important part of being a human being that we are sometimes not taught. We have a physical world that we can see and touch and feel and taste in front of us and around us. But we have a very delicate and beautiful spiritual world that holds everything together as far as how we are showing up in that physical world, how we are looking after that physical world. All of those go together. Sorry, my phone is moving because I don't have my tripod with me. I'm holding it with my hand and I'm quite animated. Everything is happening all at the same time. Always, 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 always. And if we are only staying aware of the one side of it, we will become imbalanced and we will fall a little bit heavier into the side that is not flowing, not easy. Okay. It's human nature. I have a client at the moment who's going through an incredibly rough and trying time, really and truly. And I really can relate to what she's experiencing, even though, and you all know this to be true, I'm not having the exact same experiences as her. However, my feelings were in the incredibly low and vulnerable place where she is at now. And I see how, even if we don't mean to, and no matter how strong we are, and no matter how practical we are, and no matter how all those things that we might inherently have as a tool, suddenly those things are no longer working. They are feeling so weighed with the pressure and the pain of what's happening around you. Sorry, that's the batteries. That you just feel like you have no more hold. Now, to talk somebody out of that is not easy because you are fucking feeling it. You are feeling it to the extreme where possibly you want to just hide under your bed. Okay. Take until the end of April at least to be in an active space of healing. If that means you need to sacrifice a weekend away because you know that weekend you're going to really just overdo it and it'll take you until Wednesday to get back to normal and you just don't actually have that time, then miss that weekend. Okay, really. If you are really and truly serious, even if you are feeling so low that you feel like there might not be a light at the end of the tunnel, but if you are ready to take that feeling by the horns and transmute it into how can I now move forward in it, that is why that time is there. That time is not there to punish us. I know it's hard to believe at times. That time is not there because we're terrible people. I know that's hard to believe at times. These are stories that are taking up space in our heads that are so old, that may have expired years ago already, but we weren't equipped at the time to know how to put them down. Or we knew that it wasn't right, but perhaps who we were surrounded with were themselves not able to support us in that way, because then if we change, then they have to change, right? There are very intricate, energetic happenings that create these kinds of patterns in us and these intense fears and these wanting to make our lives smaller. We feel that that's going to be safe. We feel that that's, fuck, it's so difficult. But if I just stay quiet and hear and carrying on and say fine when I'm asked, that's what I'll do. That'll be okay. Until we can no longer do that. And so now I'm talking to you if that's where you're at. Maybe you're still high functioning. You're still going to work in the morning. You're still able to get up, no problem. But it's inside you, you know. If you are not able to whippersnapple yourself and say, I need to stop and I need to reset and I need to re-educate and I just the fuck need to breathe. I don't even need to anything yet. I just need to stop. Please do that, because if you are in a state as low is, then even that at times is difficult. And I honor you for taking that breath that feels so difficult. And I honor you even for feeling like there might not be a light at the end of the tunnel, because I have been at that feeling where I have seriously believed that my life map was so true in all these things, all these difficult aspects that I have in my life map. I deserve them. Instead of taking the other route, transmuting that and going, well, I am experiencing this in my life map because these were the things that I set out to do with God in this life, whether it's experiencing some karmic payback for other people, whether it's receiving karmic payback from other people, whether it's learning lessons that in a physical body feel really difficult. But once I'm through that and learn that I don't need to fall into that anymore, let me give you an example. Mars in Cancer, which we are in right now, right, is a space where when the shit hits the fan, and it does in Mars in Cancer people's lives, it's part and parcel with that. Think about a real crab. When you mess with it at the beach, they retract into that shell because they're so soft and sensitive, those little bodies. So if you get them out of that shell, they're seriously vulnerable and very easy to hurt. Okay. So this is what we do as Mars in Cancer natives, if this is your Mars placement. We will have lives where our childhoods with this placement are hard because otherwise we don't know how to feel that Mars in Cancer. Otherwise we can't have that experience, and that would not be the Mars placement we have. It is not easy to hear this if you are at the lowest of low. It takes time. It takes layers for you to go, okay, yes, okay, I can process that now, as a way of really learning to become responsible for your own life, and that you are responsible for your own life. So when you're at the lowest of low, and you even, I know even we do things like, I know that the more I'm feeling bad, the more bad things I'm creating, and then we make ourselves feel so bad because we're not even getting that right. Stop it. Just stop. Stop. Just stop. Just stop. Just stop. And just be still. And just be still. There is a higher power taking care of you. There is a God who you are connected to. You have not been forsaken. Life on earth is a motherfucking fuck up at times. Please excuse my language. That does not mean it's not still a beautiful place, and that in a month or two or a week or 3 hours, it's not going to become apparent to you. If a cycle that you might just be feeling that you're entering and suddenly you're like, oh my gosh, things are going a bit wonky here, and it might be, Pluto's just moved into Aquarius. If that's going to be something that in your life map is going to cause a little bit of, you are going to look there. That's where you're going to go. That's the lesson. All of that is predestined. The Bible tells us your life is predestined. With my knowledge of astrology, I can really see how that works to an extent. Yes, a lot of it is unfathomable, and for that I'm very thankful as well, because that's where the real magic lies. But I am able to then meet that magic in a way that I can receive it and go, yes, not, oh my gosh, it was right here, but because blah, 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 blah. You see, we take ourselves back to that hamster wheel of a hole. So let's just stop all that. Let's just stop all of that. Stop it. Put a nice song on, have a dance break, go and swim, have a bath, have a cry, go to the shop. Whew, what else? There's so many things you can do. Read a few pages. Do some voice notes to friends you haven't in a while. Whatever. Do something different to what that brain of yours might be, what hole you might be in. If you're feeling emotional around this new moon, that's fine. We're just coming out of a Cancer retrograde. Pisces is an emotional sign. Cancer is emotional. They're both water signs. It's okay. Pisces energy is really big. It's really big. People who are quintessentially Piscean, meaning they have a lot of Pisces placements, they are dealing with all 11 other signs in there as well. This is why Pisces makes such incredible actors. They can just flunk into a role. They are, my French. They are able to morph into that really quickly. So it's no joke, first of all, Pisces energy. And if you give it the time of day that it wants from you, which is that transmutation period, which is just to stop, whatever bad or difficult or slow you've been experiencing, we are going to turn it around in this time of healing now, right? That's why it's there. Transmute it, see it differently. What is the positive side of it? How does it connect into your body? How have you grown now? That's bloody exciting. If I look back, the last 7 years, the last decade has been rough as fuck. I'm trying really hard not to swear. And I know many other people, I've heard their stories and their experiences are having the same. Yes, there's wonderful things happening within this decade as well. Of course. What I'm trying to say is, if I look back now at things I've already dropped and what has come in its place, I am so thankful. So thankful that I took the time at certain times in this last decade to stop. Just stop. It's made all the difference. And yes, I'm still on a wonderful journey of all sorts of magical things that are going to happen. And at any time that I need to now, when overwhelm sets in, when fear comes a knocking, when I wake up and I can feel in my body, I'm a little bit low, I stop. I just give myself those few minutes of pause. So yes, new moons are time to call things in, really. Call in healing. Welcome it, embrace it, stand at your door ready. Move out of the entrance of your doorway so that healing can walk in and sit with you. It is a sweet, beautiful, difficult, frustrating, fast, slow, all over the place thing. And nobody can tell you what healing is going to look like or what it's going to feel like. But I really can tell you that at the end of it, there is always something beautiful that has emerged. And that beautiful thing was always part of you. And that beautiful thing was predestined and written. Happy new moon.